And hello everybody, welcome to This Day. It is Friday the 13th of December. Are you a suspicious person? I'm not too suspicious, I'm a little suspicious. If you're suspicious, well, stay home, don't be safe, watch Village television all day. If you're not too, suspicious or, not too afraid of, the 13th, go out there and have some fun, but stay here with the show and then go out and have some fun. Watch me, We got a great show for you, I can guarantee you that. There's no fear of that one. We got Harvard Eye Associates, Dr. John Hovnesian. He's coming in. He's going to be talking to us about cataract surgeries. He's going to be talking about the origin of the very beginnings of when they discovered they could do those lens replacements. It's kind of a cool little history lesson, so stay tuned for that one. And then we have Cole Young, all things sports corners coming up as well, so stay tuned for that. Right now, though, we want to talk about some destination shopping that we have for you, and it's a great one. It is going to be going to the Mission Viejo Mall. It's now called the Shops at Mission Viejo. When I was a young kid, it was called the Mission Viejo Mall. It's the destination shopping for the transportation folks, and they are going to be taking you out there on the 18th from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. I'm not 8 a.m., sorry, for 1:30. It's going to start at 10 a.m. And then go to 1:30. 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. is when you can go call the transportation department and make the arrangements and see about getting those tickets. They are $10 for the ride. You have to pay with credit card. No cash will be accepted. So make sure you make those arrangements and get to the transportation hub and enjoy that day of shopping. It's the last transportation shopping day before Christmas, so go out there and buy those presents. All right, let's take a look at our weather while we're at it, and we got some cool days, and we're going to have a little bit of warm up, but really low 60s for today, and then mid 60s for the rest of the weekend and into next week. So enjoy the temperatures; should be pretty nice, and we're going to heading as we head towards Christmas. Let's take a look at our sunrise and our sunset while we're at it. Here's a beautiful shot over here in Phoenix, Arizona. Thank you, Cole, for sending us that picture. We appreciate that. Sunrise this morning was 6:47. Sunset tonight is going to be 4:43. If you'd like to send us a picture, we'd love to see it. Sunrise, sunset. I want to see some more Christmas pictures. We've been getting one or two, but I want to see some more Christmas holiday decorations. Your house, the outside, the inside. You dress up your dog or cat. We'll take those pictures too. Send them to our email, lagunawoodsvillagetv@gmail.com. Make sure you include your name, where you took the picture, and we will use it in our sunrise, sunset segment. Okay, we got one meeting to tell you about. Then when we come back, Harvard Eye Associates. Stay with us.
Hoarding is a complicated subject, but it's something that can quickly become dangerous. Stockpiling items like newspapers, clothes, receipts, or more become unmanageable amounts of clutter, which develops into health and safety risks. The clutter becomes unsanitary and often full of flammable objects. If you or someone you know might be struggling with a hoarding disorder, contact Laguna Woods Village Social Services. Help keep your community safe and healthy by disposing of unwanted, unused, and unnecessary items.
Welcome to Harvard Eye Associates. We're focused on your eye care at all three of our Orange County locations.
Our new location in Laguna Hills, Orange, and San Clemente.
Each facility features the latest in advanced technology and diagnostic equipment.
And a trusted collection of doctors that care about your vision and your quality of life.
We deliver what matters to you and your family.
Harvard Eye Associates, the future of vision today.
I want to welcome back to our program John Hovnesian from Harvard Eye Associates. Welcome back.
Great to see you, Michael. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays to you. I was going to say we're gearing up for the holidays. A lot of things
are
are happening. And I'm sure you're going to be taking some time off, but you recently took a little time off. You went to London, but it wasn't all play. It was also some very interesting thing about kind of the origins, the beginning of like modern cataract procedures.
Yeah, I was very fortunate to be among 150 cataract surgeons from around the world who were invited for a really special historic event in cataract surgery. It was the celebration of the 75th anniversary of the first intraocular lens implant, the first lens placed inside the eye, in cataract surgery to replace the human lens.
So for cataracts before that, was there a treatment, or was it just sorry?
That's a great question. So in the old days of cataract surgery, and honestly, not many people will remember somebody who went through this because it has been so long we've been using these lenses. But it used to be we'd take the lens out of the eye and that was it. And you would wear very thick eyeglasses or contact lenses, which, we were doing this in those days only in very advanced cataract and very older patients, and it was pretty tough for them to wear contacts. So a lot of them wore these thick eyeglasses. And that was a problem. It really was not an ideal solution for
So the giant Coke bottle going to the kind of the joke ones you see now that actually blur your vision on purpose to make you walk into walls. So cataracts would just be something that we just losing my vision, and to the point where now I'm literally blind, and take it out, it's better than nothing.
That's right, and there are parts of the world where that's still the case. We talked about Armenia. That's still the case in parts of Armenia where people are blind, from cataract. But in those days, anything that restored light to the eye was a positive, even if it required Coke bottle glasses afterwards. But there's an interesting story that happened during World War II to a British fighter pilot who was shot down in his plane. And the canopy, which then was made of a new material called plastic, and it shattered that plastic, this early material, and shards of it went inside his eyeball. He was seen by an RAF surgeon named Harold Ridley, who looked at it and said, gosh, this is a bad injury, but the eye's actually not reacting badly to this piece of plastic in it.
Kind of like it would normally a foreign element, infection or that kind of thing?
Yeah, well, and that still can happen, infection, but there was not in this case infection, so he was lucky not to have that. But the foreign body itself wasn't causing problems. And at that time in medicine and in ophthalmology, the dogma was any foreign body, you remove it. Why wouldn't you remove it? It must be bad for the eye. And he made the very bold action of not doing so he could observe it. And he did, and he found that over time, it continued to be well tolerated, which led to the idea that, hey, maybe we could intentionally put a foreign body inside the eye, a focusing element to take the place of the cataract lens that we remove. And so on November 29th, 1949, the very first intraocular lens implant was done by Sir Harold Ridley. He was knighted later for his invention, but he was shunned at the time. He was really kicked out of the medical establishment until they realized that, hey, this idea really does make sense.
Right, and that's that change of, like you said, it was a heresy to leave something in the eye, and then all of a sudden you put this plastic lens in there, this new kind of form of plastics. My boy, just like for graduate plastics,
Yeah, that's right.
It's the future.
That's right. It's the future.
And so it just kind of paved the way for everything all the advances we have today.
It's incredible, yeah, what it's led to for us. I mean, it all had to start somewhere, and so a bold surgeon who made that choice that really nobody else was willing to make led the way. And so it was a lovely event that they had for the foundation, the Ridley Foundation, Harold Ridley's family foundation that supports eye care in the developing world that we went to, and it was a really lovely event. But it reminds us of how far we've come in 75 years. Harvard Eye's been here 50 years, but it's, lens implants 75.
Yeah. So let's talk about cataracts and what is, for folks who don't quite know, maybe they haven't experienced it themselves, what is the ultimate cause of cataract? So what does it look like?
Yeah, so a cataract means that the internal lens inside the eye, the one we're born with, becomes cloudy over time. And it's a gradual process that begins, honestly in our 20s and 30s when we get the first signs of clouding. Progresses throughout life. One sign of impending cataract is in our 40s when we start to need reading glasses. That's really just the beginnings of what will lead to cataract. Later on, the lens becomes cloudy so that even with glasses, you can't see well. Far away or up close or whatever it is that you're doing becomes harder. And so as that continues to grow, it becomes an impairment for people.
Okay. And is there something, some people get cataracts, some people don't. So do we know the root cause of why some people, it happens to some?
There seems to be some genetics involved,
Okay.
but it's a little bit like graying of our hair, right? It's going to happen in different people at different rates, but it's caused by not one thing, but a whole bunch of different features that cause this aging process to progress. And in the case of cataract, lots of things. And of course there are genetic conditions, there's trauma, there's exposure to UV or actually infrared light can cause cataracts, lots of different causes, but the typical one is just the thing that kills us all, birthdays.
That gets to me.
Every time.
So when a patient comes to you and they're having the early signs of cataracts, what do you do? What do you look at? What do you tell them?
Yeah, so often people feel like they need new glasses, and indeed sometimes glasses do help. At some point, though, it becomes a problem that the world's best glasses cannot solve. And so then we talk about surgery, which is a really simple procedure, a 5 or 10 minute procedure while the patient is relaxed and sedated so that they're comfortable, the eye is numb, so maybe they'll see a little bit of light, but they're not seeing any detail, and it's over with. Most people say there's no pain at all, and the next day can go back to most normal activity. They can drive, they can read, they can shower, they can use a computer. So there's not a lot of downtime.
And you do one eye at a time, right? And that's one of the things people need to understand too, is like, okay, I'm got one and then we're going back for the other. Now, why do we do the one eye at the time?
It's a great question because we want to separate those risks of surgery. Any surgery has risk. It's always important to acknowledge and understand that. Putting risks into two different categories, the really bad things and the not so bad. The really bad types of things can happen about 1 in 1,000 times, and those are things like retinal detachment and infection, major bleeding that could, if we couldn't control it, lead to loss of vision or loss of the eye even. Very rare. To, 1 in 1,000 is the starting point for that. The other category is sort of the fender bender. It's the not so serious issue that is more annoying than it is blinding. Delayed healing, needing additional surgery, having a scratchy feeling in the eye, double vision, a droopy eyelid. I mean, I could go on and on. There's a bunch of things. And sometimes we can fix them, sometimes we can't fix them. Those are each about 1 in 100 type risks with surgery.
Now, as 50 years of Harvard Eye, there have been many changes in the way, the approach of the surgery and the lenses and and just the whole procedures. What are some of the things that you're seeing now that are just the cutting edge stuff?
Well, it's just remarkable the advancements we've seen. So about 10, 15 years ago, the big advance was what we call refractive cataract surgery, where now we're not just getting rid of the cataract and putting on different glasses, we're getting rid of the cataract and in many cases the glasses as well. And that's because with that lens we put inside the eye sets the vision for the rest of the patient's life. The prescription is not expected to change in the future. So if we can get it precise enough to give them the glasses that they need inside the eye, they may not need glasses for many, I won't say all, but many of their activities.
I can get rid of these readers for once and for all?
We have ways of helping you with that. We certainly do.
And if someone is having those challenges, what's the first step that they should do? Should they go to the doctor and then you guys work out a plan? Yeah,
it's a good idea to see your eye doctor and ask them, do I have a cataract? How much is this affecting me? Really, it's driven by a feeling that you're not seeing as well as you should, even with your glasses. In some cases, patients are motivated by potentially getting rid of or reducing their need for glasses. That's not a reason to do cataract surgery, at least through insurance, but there are ways we can help those folks as well, sometimes involving similar surgery, sometimes other surgery. So talk to your eye doctor. And of course, we have a wonderful team at Harvard Eye, but there are lots of great eye doctors in the community here, and we work with virtually all of them. And if you'd like to see us, we'd be delighted to take care of anybody who can hear my voice.
All right, well, Dr. John Hovannisian, jet setter, eye doctor, Harvard Eye Associates, celebrating 50 years. Congratulations on that again. And Merry Christmas to you guys.
Merry Christmas to you. Have a great holiday.
Thank you. All right, you're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
Village Television presents Friday Films, only on Village Television. Fridays at 2 and 6 p.m. Foreign films, dramas, and comedies. Award-winning films, romance and mystery. Independent films. Every Friday, only on Village Television.
Hello and welcome to this Friday's episode of Sports Corner. I'm Cole Young, and so much is going on all across the sports world, so I'll get right to it. This year seems to be the year of money. I say that because it felt like every week a new record-breaking contract was signed somewhere in the sports world. This week was no exception. Last year, Shohei Ohtani's 10-year, $700 million contract shattered every conception of how large a contract can be. Just about a year later, that absurd record has already been broken in every conceivable way. The New York Mets have signed free agent Juan Soto to a 15-year contract for $765 million. Unlike Ohtani's, the deal contains no deferred money, contains incentives that could push the total value into the $800 million range, and has an opt-out clause which the Mets can void by dropping in another $40 million. This is the largest contract in all of sports history. On top of all that, Soto received a $75 million signing bonus simply for signing the contract. Whenever there's a massive contract like that, the little fun facts about the numbers are always pretty entertaining to read. So here's a few. The average 9-inning regular season MLB game lasted just under 2 hours and 40 minutes in 2024. Assuming that stays roughly the same and Soto plays 160 games in 2025, he'll be set to earn about $121,198 per hour. Just in case you're curious, that equates to about $2,020 per minute and about $34 per second. Soto also played an average of 1,338 innings in the field over the last 2 years. That means he'll earn about $38,000 per inning. It's physically hard to fathom that amount of money. Anyway, the 26-year-old Soto is coming off a season in which he helped lead the New York Yankees to a World Series appearance. In 7 seasons, the 6'2", 220-pound Soto has hit .285 with 201 home runs and 592 RBIs. Statistically, Soto is one of the best hitters we have ever seen since Barry Bonds. He's already a 4-time All-Star, 4-time Silver Slugger, batting champion, home run derby champion, and World Series champion. His .421 career on-base percentage is the best in baseball since he debuted. His .532 slugging percentage is 7th. His 769 career walks are the most for a player through their 25th birthday, 99 more than second place Mickey Mantle. Suffice to say, if anyone in the MLB is deserving of that kind of contract, it's Juan Soto. Baseball doesn't start for another few months, but not to worry, we still have plenty to hold us over until then, like the NFL. Week 14 was another great week with not too many surprises, but some exhilarating games. Starting on Thursday, the Lions outlasted the Packers in the divisional shootout, winning 34-31 and clinching their spot in the NFC playoffs. Sam Darnold yet again led the Vikings to their 6th straight win after he threw for a career-high 347 yards and 5 touchdowns in a 42-21 win over the Falcons. The biggest shock of the week was the Los Angeles Rams upsetting the Buffalo Bills, despite quarterback Josh Allen having a historic game. Allen passed for 342 yards and rushed for 82 yards as he became the first player in NFL history with 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns in a game. But it wasn't enough to overcome the Rams, who took a 44-35 lead over the Bills after quarterback Matthew Stafford hit Puka Nacua for a 19-yard touchdown. Allen ran his 3rd touchdown in to make the game 44-42, but the Rams held on to win in a high-scoring battle. To end the day on Sunday, the Chargers almost pulled off a massive upset of their own. With 1 second left on the clock, the Chargers were beating the Kansas City Chiefs 17-16. But yet again, the Chiefs found another incredibly lucky way to win. Chiefs kicker Matthew Wright lined up to kick the game-winning field goal from 31 yards out. The kick swung wide left, but managed to doink off the crossbar and into the uprights for the win. Yet another miraculous last-second win secured for the Chiefs, and that secured their 9th straight AFC West title. Not only that, that win is the only reason I did not have another 4-0 week with my picks. I still went 3-1, even though I was millimeters away from being undefeated. Anyway, I'm still 33-9 on the year, not too bad. Let's see if I can close out the season with less than 10 losses. This week, I'll pick the Commanders to get a win in New Orleans, the Broncos to beat the Colts at home in Denver, the Cardinals to get a much-needed win over the Patriots, and a pick I didn't think I'd make this season, the Panthers to continue their solid play and finally get a win over the Cowboys. Every week, I've been giving an update on the NFL playoff picture, so here's this week's look at it. The Chiefs and Bills still remain the 2 teams that have clinched in the AFC, but the Steelers, Texans, and Ravens all have over 97% odds to make the playoffs. The Chargers have an 89% chance, while the Broncos are still hanging around with a 74% shot. The Colts, Dolphins, and Bengals all have some very slight odds to earn a spot, while the Browns, Jaguars, Jets, Titans, Patriots, and Raiders are all officially eliminated from playoff contention. Fun fact, the Jets are the only team across the NFL, MLB, NHL, NBA, and WNBA to have not made the playoffs since 2010. A 14-year drought is pretty rough. In the NFC, the Lions and Eagles have both secured their spots in the playoffs. With the exception of the Vikings and Packers having just about 100% odds to make it, the rest of the NFC is pretty much up for grabs. The Seahawks, Bucks, and Commanders have the best odds, but teams like the Rams, Falcons, Cardinals, and 49ers aren't out just yet. The New York Giants are the only NFC team to be officially out of the playoffs so far. Sorry, New York fans, hopefully next year is better. Speaking of weekly playoff updates, the college football playoff is officially set with a glorious 12-team format. The 12 teams are Oregon, Georgia, Boise State, and Arizona State rounding out the top 4, all with first-round byes, followed by Texas, Penn State, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Tennessee, Indiana, SMU, and Clemson. Even though the playoffs has expanded from 4 teams to 12, there are still some teams that feel like they got snubbed. Alabama, Miami, Ole Miss, Army, and South Carolina are all teams that had incredible seasons and by all means earned a playoff spot, but came up just short in the end. The first of all the bowl games this season kicks off this Saturday, but the first playoff games are still a week away. The first playoff game will be the matchup of number 10 Indiana at number 7 Notre Dame, which will be on the 20th at 5 p.m. on ESPN. I'll give more updates on the rest of the playoff games when they start next week, but wanted to be sure you knew when they began. From the IS4S Salute to Veterans Bowl this Saturday to the College Football Playoff National Championship game on January 20th, 82 teams will play in at least one postseason game. It's officially bowl season. Also this weekend is the Heisman Trophy ceremony. If you aren't fully sure what the Heisman is, the Memorial Award has been awarded annually since 1935 to the top player in college football. It's considered the most prestigious award in college football. This year, the 4 Heisman finalists are Dylan Gabriel, Travis Hunter, Ashton Jeanty, and Cam Ward. I made my case last week for why I personally think Jeanty should win, but all 4 of these athletes are very deserving of this award. The ceremony will be at 5 p.m. tomorrow on ESPN. If you just can't seem to get enough football, there's yet another great docuseries out on HBO to enjoy. Hard Knocks is famous for their preseason NFL documentaries, including this season with the Chicago Bears, which showcases life in the NFL on and off the field. In the past few years, Hard Knocks has had a few in-season series, and this year is trying something totally new. For the first time ever, Hard Knocks is following all 4 teams in one division. And it's starting in one of the league's most competitive, most physical, and most entertaining divisions, the AFC North. Each episode will give an inside look into the Baltimore Ravens, Cincinnati Bengals, Cleveland Browns, and Pittsburgh Steelers. The show is documenting the battle for the AFC North title during the final 6 weeks of the NFL season, as well as the playoff run for the division winner and any wildcard teams. Even though the Browns are eliminated from playoff contention, the remaining 3 teams are still fighting for their shot at a Super Bowl. Even if they aren't, more than any other division, the rivalries among these 4 teams run very deep, and every game is always exciting. The first episode released on December 3rd, and the second this past Tuesday, and will continue to release every Tuesday throughout the regular season and the playoffs. All episodes can be found on HBO and their streaming app, Max. It's that time of year where NFL reigns supreme. But with that said, the NBA In-Season Cup is still being played out, the NHL regular season's going strong, and we are slowly gearing up for March Madness. Be sure to come back next Friday for more news, updates, and highlights from all across the sports world. And, as always, thank you for tuning in. I'm Cole Young. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next time.
Welcome to OC Eye Care, home of the first customizable lens implant with a light adjustable lens, making it possible to see clearly at near, intermediate, and distance.
Before I had cataract surgery, I struggled to see long distance. I couldn't read tiny print. I had 2 light treatments each eye, and neither of them were painful at all. They last about 90 seconds. After the surgery, I was pretty much just back to normal life in 2 days. I absolutely would do surgery all over again.
For some of you, it may be time to replace your dated windows and doors. I'm a resident of Laguna Woods and have served the community for 10 years. As a women-owned business, you can trust Window Jazz to provide seamless service from the moment we meet to the completion of the job. Most jobs are completed in just 1 day.
Window Jazz put windows in my home. The service was amazing, the price couldn't be beat, and I would recommend them to anybody.
Call Window Jazz now to schedule your free consultation.
And welcome back. Hey, let's talk movies. We got some good ones lined up for this weekend. Starting with today, it's Driving Miss Daisy. It's brought to us by Hoag Orthopedic Institute, and it's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles, 6 p.m. without the subtitles. Driving Miss Daisy tells a touching story of an old Jewish woman and her African-American chauffeur in the American South, whose relationship deepens and improves over the years, offering a poignant look at friendship and societal change. And then on Saturday, talk about societal change, the 80s and Ronald Reagan. We have Reagan, and that's starring Dennis Quaid. It's brought to us by City of Hope, and it's going to be at 2 p.m. with the subtitles, 6 p.m. without the subtitles. It is a drama based on the life of Ronald Reagan, offering a compelling portrayal of the 40th president's journey from his childhood to his time in the Oval Office. Leaning on nostalgia, it blends his political legacy with personal depth. And so those are our movies. Hope you get to enjoy those. Let's take a quick check of our weather, and we've got some nice temperatures for the rest of the weekend. Today's going to be a little cool, but then we get to the mid-60s as we kind of warm up, and into the rest of the week really got mid-60s all the way into Tuesday. Sand Anners are kind of gone. We're not going to have those big warm-ups, but it is pretty much typical December weather for us. So get out there and enjoy it. All right, tomorrow on the program, we got the Village Music Club. They got some big changes going on. They're going to talk about the big New Year's Eve show they have going on, and actually some big changes within the club itself. So stay tuned for that one tomorrow on This Day. That's going to do it for this edition of the program. For all of us here at Village Television, I'm Michael Taylor. We hope we make this day a great one.
We understand that many family members would like to take care of their aging loved ones, but aren't able to. We only hire individuals we would trust to take care of our own family members. All of these aspects of our business can help you feel more confident when bringing a caregiver into your family. To learn more about how we can help your family, contact us today.
Many people ask me, hey CJ, when is the best time to create a living trust and help your loved ones avoid delays and extreme costs of probate court? The time's right now. Why let your beneficiaries pay legal fees upwards of $80,000 when you can create complete living trust package including funding for under $800? Contact Beverly Hills Legal Services today so we can help you design a great estate plan.
Celebrating 65. Exciting until you wonder, should I apply for Medicare? If so, how? But I'm still working. What is Medicare Part A, Part B, C, D? Are there penalties involved? We make it easier for you. We discuss the pros, cons, and myths. Call 1-888-225-6468. We help you understand, enroll, and use your benefits so you can go back to doing the things you love.